How are you?
Could we have a video?
Oh, I'm bringing them.
Yeah, okay, okay. I didn't know if I should grab my.
No, I got it. I'm just,
Thank you.
yeah, just finishing it up. And don't lock this door when you leave.
I will not lock the
Thank
door.
you, sir.
I know you're still here. I'm leaving.
Bye. Yep. You cannot call the roll because we have not started the meeting on recording yet or live, but you can in a few seconds here.
Okay.
She can do what she wants. She's.
Well, she can, but she'll be breaking open meeting law. Oh, well, I don't want that, right?
No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. There was a request that the computer be moved closer to here.
Oh, good. That's what. Brought too.
Okay.
Terrible noise.
I'd like to call this meeting to order, and I'd like to note that there's no scheduled public participation. So any of y'all that want to participate, you'll have to wait till the end. So that's that.
Or until someone asks us a question.
And, right. And I do not have the minutes with me, but I remember that I got them and I found them very helpful. Did anybody have any issue? You didn't see them.
So I will abstain.
Did you, before you get to, you're gonna do a roll call?
Okay, let's do the roll call.
And can we make sure to get last names too?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is Charlie Morse.
Morse. You got that, Tom?
And I'm very. Merry.
Carl Pinkham.
Tim Swartz.
Bill Clements to the T.
And we have two online.
We do, we have Natalie and Mary Maiden Scott.
And I saw Jeff Schultz's name on there.
I just use his login. It's me. I've switched it over here to say my name now. So, yeah.
And here are the minutes. I do have them here because I used them when I came up with the agenda for today. So I don't have any opposition to anything in the minutes. Does anyone else? Does anybody want to make a motion to
Move
approve?
approve the minutes.
Somebody second that, please.
I'll second it.
Other people are allowed? Okay,
Somebody's been moved and seconded by somebody that be approved. And all in favor, say aye. Okay, so we have 3 in favor, none of Jeff McMahon, 1 abstention. No, Jeff McMahon is here. So does anybody know anything about Act 250 that could help us out here?
was he invited?
I don't,
I attended the training on Act 250. They said, talk to Central Vermont Regional Planning to get the question answered, and I have not heard anything beyond it.
Is it working?
Start my video?
Oh, it didn't start? My apologies.
Oh, that's okay.
Thank you.
sharp eyes. So we're going to have to put this Act 250 question on for next time. And we need
Thank you, Tom. Can I read from the project review sheet?
yes.
I'm not familiar with these, so I'm just going to read straight from this, but this is what I brought to the select board at the last time I spoke to the select board. This is what Jeff McMahon had written. A proposed recreational trail from the pedestrian bridge over the Dog River in downtown Northfield along the Dog River, following the river course to Main Street, follows the path. And I'm not going to read all of it. The trail intersects multiple parcels, town-owned and privately owned, and is approximately 1,000 linear feet. There are no buildings impacted by the project at this time. And I believe he was the one who did not think that much needed to be done for sections A, B, or D, but we should obviously let him speak for himself. I thought that would be more helpful. A portion of the project will be constructed along the bank of the Dog River on a tract subject to Act 250 land use permit. That's the Dollar General side.
That's the part we're talking about here tonight.
Permit condition 18 states the permittees, I don't know what permittees are,
People who are getting the.
but is that Dollar General or the town? Or do we
These
know?
are the questions we
Okay,
need to
okay.
have answered.
They shall maintain a 50-foot undisturbed, naturally vegetated, unmowed buffer strip from the bank of all water courses to the project site and any disturbed areas. Snow plow storage of materials within the stream buffer shall not be permitted.
No plowing shall not be permitted? storage
Snow
shall not-
plowing or storage of any
Oh,
materials
I
within
heard
the stream
no
buffer.
plowing. Double
Uh,
negative.
So accordingly, the project constitutes a material change pursuant to Act 250 Rule 2C6, and a permit amendment is required.
All right.
Just point on that the permittee will be the town of Northfield,
Not Dollar General.
not Dollar General. Yeah.
How do we start this Act 250 process?
Well, it looks like we just have to get an amendment. So I can get with Jeff and ask him. I don't know this gentleman from Act 250, but I can get with Jeff to help spur that along per Charlie's suggestion. So,
And NCDN has communicated with him, so
Oh,
we
great.
have his direct information.
Okay.
And Jeff doesn't have it.
wonderful. Okay. Great. Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
And you all can correct me if senior residence is not expecting to have a meeting.
A little modification on that because I sort of took over that part for Jeff. The person we're dealing with is the liaison at Vermont Housing Authority between the community Dog River Apartments and Green Mountain Apartments and the Housing Authority. And I spoke with her again, or I emailed with her again, and she expressed her further reticence about wanting to have anything there, but she admitted that first decision about even having a meeting with any of the community members, it was up to the executive director. Put in an email to her last week before the Secretary of Housing. Very well, Josh, and Alex Farrell. And so I'll just contact him directly, and that will at least get something going. At the end of the day, there may be or there may not be a community meeting. That will be up to Vermont Housing Authority whether or not they want to bring them together, or if they just want to talk to them individually. We can't really control that, but my sense is we can at least get a conversation with the executive director.
Do you have an opinion about whether or not it would be better to not have a meeting with the residents, or would it be better to have a meeting with the residents?
I think at the end of the day, and I trust him implicitly on that, I think approach we have to take is really as a benefits of the walkway are we're concerned about safety. So I think what we really think the director to talk to this group directly is to find out what are the things that you would need to see to feel comfortable about this project moving forward from a safety point of view.
I like the way you said that.
And because I think that that's what they're focused on. So so I think we can at least get that dialogue going to get a sense of whether or not, and I'm sure they'll canvass the tenants there, regardless of what the outcome is. But if we can do that, at least we can come from an advocacy group of, we hear you on your concerns about safety. I don't know how recent the vandalism or the graffiti took place, but the fact of the matter, that's kind of irrelevant. Perception is reality. If they feel concerned, they feel concerned. We have to allay those concerns.
We could try telling them facts.
Well, we don't have any facts. yet, on that. And, we don't know how often it's happened or how long, how many have been reported to the police, because we don't have that fact without finding out from them. How many times people have seen people back there and expressed concern, but only to VHA and not to the police. So
That's true.
until we talk to VHA, we don't have all the data. And, but I think if we approach it from that position, saying we're very sensitive to this, we think this could be a good thing. What do you need to hear from us? I think that might be a valuable way to take the next step.
Well, they live in the area that's going to be developed, and they're going to benefit the most by being able to have a nice walkway, a path, a riverfront path. So if we couch it that way, and it sounds to me like we're going to have to go to the top and then from there go to the residence. Is that?
It does. I think the main thing they're going to say is we understand that in the middle of the day, if I want to go out and walk on the Riverwalk path, that's wonderful, but that doesn't keep more people coming through and someone throwing a rock through my window at midnight. That's what we have to address is this going to increase more traffic, the kind of traffic they don't want? If that's the case, what can we do to deter it? What are the other things that would make them feel more comfortable about that? Lighting, security, cameras. Charlie, you down there with a shotgun maybe a couple nights a week?
Trip line flares.
Yeah, exactly. Bring out. Right. So I agree with you. I think the benefits will speak very well, but and so we kind of
So
focus
we're going
on
to go from the top down instead of from the bottom up.
Well, we'd love to go from the bottom up, but we're being told that's not the process. Yeah.
Can I interrupt real quick?
No.
Because people in the video, they're question chat, but also and the video is not on, so they can't see it.
I started the video, and for some reason it's not working, but we're going to do this.
God, I feel like I'm under the pines in rural Minnesota. At least that was what was happening to me while I was up there and having meetings. It was like, I like the way you
Your
said.
video's on now, Tom.
Now, and now I see Tom.
Okay, so now we're going to turn this one around and see if getting your voices closer to this one will help. Ask away. Can you?
So we should talk. I'm talking.
Say, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Should the video be on for conference room? Or no, okay, the little one is Tom Davis.
Yeah, and
Okay,
unfortunately,
sorry.
for some reason, this camera's not working, which is why I just switched
Okay,
out.
I lost in the nomenclature.
Can
sorry.
you see, Mary, Natalie, can you see anything?
Yes, it's much better. Thank you.
Hot damn. Okay. I really liked what you said, which is, what do you need to feel comfortable? I like that
Yeah.
statement. It's like, we're ready to help you, but we're not stopping. Okay, I like that very much.
We'll leave the "we're not stopping" out.
I know, I whispered that part. Then the next thing on the action items is myself and its communication with Timber and Stone. And so here are my communications with Timber and Stone. And give one to Carl too, okay? And one to you two guys. And one goes down to Tom. You can have that one. And can I have this one for, no. Yeah, I'm gonna have this one for a minute. Okay, now I'll give it back to you.
Paper.
Yeah, and y'all get to see parts of my private life, which is not very private, and I don't care. And the world knows about your private life anyway.
One every day.
I know. So, the people at Timber and Stone said they would be happy to help us. They said that they would expect that we needed to have this project go out to bid, and that they would like the bid process to get going by October. We had some question about whether bid process would be required if we went through T-Mobile. You said, nope, we don't need to have a bid for T-Mobile. but we haven't got that grant yet. And if we don't get that grant, we're going to use our ARPA money. And if we use our ARPA money, Jeff says we need to put it out to bid.
If the municipality is driving a project, then the purchasing policy without select board intervention apply. Well, forbid, doesn't matter where the money's coming from.
Yeah, that's
If the
right.
Town's doing it, you gotta do it. The select board can override that, saying, never mind, we just need to give them that input that we want to override it. And there'll be one member that will, has already said that they do not feel it should be overridden.
Yeah.
So the easy thing to do is go out to bid.
Easiest thing to do is to go out to bid. Again, yeah, it seems like the sensible thing to do. So that's my response.
If I could just add to that, I think one thing you are allowed to do if you do go out to bid is you do not have to supply them with the work that Timber and Stone did in your RFP, because they did that at their own expense. So you could just do a narrative description and at least require the other bidders to do the same amount of work that Timber and Stone did to make it a fair playing field for all parties.
Even though Timber and Stone was paid for that.
Oh, they were paid for that?
Right.
I take that back.
We'll confirm with Jeff, but
It's a
that was the
it's a public
expectation.
document.
Beautiful. Okay. Yeah.
So that makes the
Yes,
difference.
absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I didn't realize that.
But the question I had in preparing for tonight was, when do we know whether T-Mobile likes us or not?
Well, even if T-Mobile, September is the timeline. Even if T-Mobile says, yes, you can do it, you can have the money, the town is still obligated to follow the same process because we're the ones who are doing it. So the money may come from T-Mobile, but they don't have the ability to tell the town to bypass a bidding process.
Okay.
T-Mobile just doesn't require.
So we're
for
going to do a
RSP.
bid no matter what.
Right, because T-Mobile says, how much is it going to cost? And we say $50,000 or $40,000, whatever it was. And then they go, okay, we're trusting you have the right number. You go out and take care of it from there.
Okay. And then when we put this out to bid and how much of a project it's going to be depends on what the dam project is. So Carl, can you report on that?
Okay, so first was to check with Jeff Schultz to find out who to contact. And it's Karina Daly at Vermont Natural Resource. Currently the project. Now, the other thing is they're doing it. So, because it was a two kind of a contract. So let me go to the contractor. The project engineer is working on final engineering plans for the dam removal with the goal of finishing the plans and bidding the project in spring of 2025. The plan is to remove the dam in summer of 2025. Okay. So I sent off to Karina and I got this response. Thank you for your email. I am unplugged and on vacation. I look forward to reconnecting with you upon my return to work on July 31st. Today. And I have not gotten anything from it.
Thank you.
This is the trouble with trying to do things in the summertime. But thank you very much. We still are at the same crossroads because we want them to work together. And can you continue to?
Yeah, I will pursue her tomorrow. I mean, I give her a day to get settled in.
Listen to all her
Yeah,
emails,
right, and then
voicemails.
follow.
So historically, what has happened with this project is it was going to be an 80-20. And then FEMA stepped in, so it's going to be 100%. It's not going to cost the town anything. So now, and then we encourage them to combine it with the Main Street Bridge replacement, which has been delayed by a year. So now we will be asking them to combine it to do work, let them know that we're doing this project with the Riverwalk, and we would like the access point, which is going to be where they're by the Dollar General. Essentially, they're going to access that. So they're going to tear it up. So want them to leave it as close as possible. We have the opportunity to have timber and stone or a landscaping company to come in and finish it off if they don't do it. Most contractors will.
What, the them you're talking about is the contractor to do the
The
work
unknown contractor
for the
who
trail,
is right for the dam removal.
for the dam removal.
The dam removal goes all the way from the dam all the way up to the pedestrian bridge. So there is an opportunity, if we have a creative lead in this project, to get a lot of work done without, because everybody, the abutting property owners, the dam removal project is care of the abutting property owners. They have to. So, and there is a 50-foot riparian buffer next to the brook anyway, next to the river. So they will have that to get all the old nasty, hopefully will be a clean river. That at the bottom of it, where the Cross Brothers Dam used to be, will be a park.
Yeah.
And a beach.
Right. And I'm sitting here thinking if they take all that debris out of the river, it's going to flow better.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it will be, I just, you know, all right, you're right, it will. And then you replace the bridge and get the pillar out of there, the two pillars. Oh,
Piers,
piers,
bridge piers
the
is.
bridge piers. That
never
is
looked
going
under
to
that
make a
bridge.
big difference.
Yeah.
Then there's two.
It's hard to see.
Are huge,
Oh, that just gets
damming
stuck
up
there.
at those piers.
Those are the ones we see.
Yeah,
Right.
I have seen it.
Yeah.
Last year, one pile of them caught on fire.
In a river.
I think it had some help from a teenager, but you know.
Yes. This is not quite the Cuyahoga Dog River.
I believe that when you mentioned that about kids setting the fire, maybe, is the fact that having more people walk down there, I think is a great idea.
Oh, we're developing the waterfront. It's good. It is a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's a delinquency prevention idea.
If you look at the morass of vegetation.
Yeah,
there,
it's
Park elements like a bench, but is the select board talking about doing any sort of park or park features or mini park
No.
as part of the dam removal?
No, that
Okay.
was just a
Access to the
language
water,
thing he used.
right.
Well, it came up board meeting, the last select board meeting that resulted in the subcommittee that, you know, why would we do a path instead of a park? We could have a nice park there. And I didn't know if that was something that had been discussed before.
No,
We weren't aware
No.
of any.
This committee
park-
can come up with any idea and the
Okay.
select board can act on it. And it's just, it's going to end up, if this gets done, it's going to end up as a place where people go for lunch. It's going to be a park.
So, and
The,
I'm sorry. didn't mean to-
yeah, one of the most angry citizens we have in Northfield always approaches me when they see me and they've got something to say about the police department or something. And I dreaded the interaction I was going to have at Kenyon's because he walked right up to the Jeep and I was like, oh, this is going to be another one of those moments. He said, that Water Street Park is the best thing Northfield has ever done in 50 years. And of course, I had to take a shot, some epinephrine because I was in shock. And then he went on to describe why. The kids were out there playing in the park. There were some kids in the water, and a canoe comes down from Joe's downstream and asks if it's okay to swim. And his dog was on a leash. He was just absolutely beyond himself. And it wasn't one of those things that I woke up. It actually happened. So the same thing is going to happen down here.
And people,
I would just mention that request for benches has been constant for any of these paths that we've talked about.
But we've got a
People-
floodplain.
And yeah, but as you said, people are going to be down there eating lunch. They're going to want places to sit.
That's right.
So
Picnic tables, there'll be a picnic table there. There'll be a picnic table community garden. And it's going to be handicapped. It's going to be accessible.
yes,
So
and the picnic tables should be that also.
indeed,
Yes.
and remember that because we don't have that on the
Yes.
common. So there you have
Yes.
it.
That's on the list.
So as you talk, Carlos, to those people, that reason I went off on that
Mhm.
5-minute thing is so you have the history and somewhat of a vision. And you can take it any way you want to. If you think there should be a heliport down there, tell them that we're thinking about putting a heliport down there. The point being is let them know that we want to partner with this dam removal project.
Do you think that if the bridge got delayed by a year, that the dam removal on riverbed, the remediation by the bridge is going to be affected? Because you've got the piers and
that will be a manager's discussion, but the folks doing the bridge are going to have it already in their schedule to remove the piers and do whatever else needs to be done to that. So they're going to remediate it, and it's better for them to have something to work with that's already done so they can blend it in rather than them doing it themselves.
yeah, but I think
In
what Bill was asking is there going to be a delay in the dam removal
potential
process?
delay, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was just thinking if they're changing the bed of the river, the altitude of the river, if you will, it'd be kind of odd to remove the dam, lower the bed, then you got a spot where it's got to stay high to keep the piers in place.
Mhm.
It's got to go back. It's got to go back down again. I mean,
The engineers will take care of
can figure
that.
that out.
Right.
It might
Yeah.
just be a couple of big pipes.
If anything goes bad, then the bridge replacement will get
It'll
accelerated.
be soon.
But there's no iron for the bridge replacement because it's stuck in a port
Well,
somewhere.
they are timber and stone.
Baltimore, huh?
I've got hemlocks big enough to cut across that bridge.
then we have part
So
B.
can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Are there any particular directions you want me to take with Karina Daly when I finally get in touch with her? Okay.
No, you're just looking for a transparency is interested in the final outlook at Dollar General.
Okay.
Final appearance, final design, final whatever it is.
So then formalizing the approach to the senior residents and Vermont State Housing Authority. Vermont VSHA, not VHSA, whatever. I used to work for them and I never could figure that out. So in any event, it's going to be top down. That's the formal approach that we're going to use. And Tom's going to do it. And then we confirmed the required bidding process and we decided, yes, we should count on the fact that there's going to be a bidding process no matter who pays for it. And then number D is decide the exact course of phasing. Is it A, B, C, D? What's the course? What's first? D, right?
That'll be.
Yes.
D
Yes.
is first.
I think
So
this
it's going to be
consensus.
D. And then what's second?
A is what I have heard.
Hey, yeah.
And then what's third?
B, C has to be last, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
B and C has to be last. Now, I wanted to
Yep.
underscore something that Charlie said, which is that when they do the remediation, some of the problems we anticipate having with landowners and so forth will have been solved. Because the remediation will have taken care
Within
of it.
50 feet of the riparian buffer is 50 feet. So from the edge of the water to 50 feet in, that is not supposed to be disturbed, but they're taking the morass of Northfield loaded that waterway with granite pilings. I mean, it's a mess. You can't. There's gravestones in there. It's just whatever the granite industry didn't want, they threw it in the river to prevent erosion.
Behind section C.
From from A to D,
Okay, they're
Yeah.
going all the way up to the footbridge.
right?
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah.
C is the most expensive and difficult even without the landowners, but obviously there are more landowners at stake there, but that would help.
Just depends on what their final plan, what their vision is, what it's going to look like when they're done removing the dam and remediating the riverbed.
Okay.
How far upriver are they going to go?
Pedestrian bridge.
To the pedestrian bridge.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which covers.
And I
Oh,
have full intentions of asking
thank you.
during one of these processes to asking if we can get our highway material out of the Dog River. Completely different.
I've thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see those exposed rocks, I think, ha 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 ha.
Well, we're gonna, with the exception of knotweed, we're gonna get the material out of there. We'll crush it and we'll put it back on the road. But if you go all the way up to Joe's Warrows, where the ledges are at Bear Ass Beach, do we all know where that is?
No,
Nope.
Y'all are too old.
we need
That's where
one
the
of-
students swim.
we need to have one of those trail signs marking it Bear Ass Beach.
Yeah, Joe would love to have that marked. Right, he's got ledges on the other side is a beach, and it's all sand. And when I mow his field, I go really slow at that corner of the field because the people that are unclothed on that Bear Ass Beach, very pleasant view. So anyway, my idea is the river has filled in with our highway material, and I want to get it back, and I want to essentially dredge the river, not like they did after Irene and make it a cone, but take it down 2 feet because there's 6 feet of gravel in there.
So the new business I have, and there are other issues, some new business after we talk about this, I'd like for you to bring them up. First one was to develop community engagement. And number one, again, we have to wait until you tell us what happens when you go to talk to the top-down process. So that's done, quick and easy.
Is it fair to say that it would be fair to talk to the residents before? I mean, these have all been public meetings. This is a public meeting,
Yeah.
but before just like opening it up to just about everybody, but recognize that those residents in particular right now, as the second of the phases, are particularly important and on our radar. Is that fair?
That's
to
the way I
say?
would have approached it, but Tom just said we got to do the top-down thing. So
No, I mean, instead of like doing a public announcement in the newspaper.
No,
saying,
we have to
"Oh,"
go over there.
Yeah.
We have to bring lemonade and cookies.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I
Talk to
always
them.
think you have to bring food.
Well, I don't. Doesn't have the authority to say you can't speak to a resident. If you know people who live there, you should definitely talk to them.
The accessibility
Right.
group has actually already invited and hosted a resident in one of
You
the
have every right
meetings,
to
so.
do that.
Yes.
They can't.
Yeah.
They can't stop them from who they communicate.
Yeah.
no, but if you go too far and the town represents itself as doing a project that is going to be on their property and their back window,
Mhm.
that word gets to be to the housing authority, and they're just going to close the door.
Mhm.
They're not going to talk. So
Yeah, it's a fair point.
they're state government. If you don't include them,
Right.
you don't stroke them,
Yep.
you don't do their job for them, they'll close the door and
Yeah.
they won't open it up again.
So
we
I
wait
agree
for-
to talking to them before we.
I think what
open
we
it up
need to
everybody
hear
else.
from is Tom.
Right.
And then we should, once we hear that Tom has talked to, what's the honcho's name?
Alex Farrell.
Alex. Once Tom has talked to this Alex, and let him know, then we can go forward with down here at the bottom level here and talk nice to.
Did Farrell replace Williams? So
So who are you talking to?
Well, so far,
Williams was really tight. He was
Mary
smart.
Nate on Scott's
and
mom,
he was,
That's
lives
right.
there.
he
That's
was
right.
easy to
Frida.
work with.
Yeah.
I
And
hope
you
his
know
She was
how-
guys
very
do.
positive about the whole thing.
Well,
Yeah, you know how
work a
things
lot
go.
with Farrell.
Frida
on-
talks to somebody else
we
and somebody
encouraged her
else
in
and
that.
somebody
We
else.
encouraged her to do the housing
Yeah.
and support
And she
a lot of
brought
the things
really
that he was doing all the
legitimate,
time. So, and I've
thoughtful
spoke at
concerns
conference
that
with
she
him a couple
assumed
weeks
people
ago.
would have.
So,
It was helpful.
you know, he'll hear
So
us.
maybe we should
He'll
ask
hear
her
us.
how we should proceed.
Mhm.
Maybe we're going to, so we're going to wait till he talks to
Right.
Alex. And they have already talked to Mary Naden Scott's mother, Frida. So I think after he talks to Alex, my suggestion would be that we follow Frida's lead on this and what she thinks would be the best process to use.
Yeah, she had some good ideas about what not to do.
She did.
and what to do.
Well, we should definitely do what she
Yeah.
says.
Or use the next in command, like lower on the totem pole. I'd hate to put Frida in a situation where she lives, where people are blaming her if they're upset about the project.
True, true.
That's a thought that I have. If she's
Yeah.
helping us, I mean, she helped us and that was great, but I would hate
On
to
a
have her
private
be a
basis,
face of this if she
Yeah.
didn't want to.
I don't
be.
want her to be a lightning rod. No.
The local management needs to be, whatever happens at the top, it's gotta come to them
Yeah.
to say, hey.
And who is the local
do
management?
this.
I had their names somewhere.
Somebody who lives in this town.
I don't know where they live, but
BHA.
No.
yeah, I
Oh,
spoke to
the
two
facility,
women.
Yeah.
Who
You
were
mean the
direct-
actual apartment manager?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I'll
there used to
start
be
looking.
Dog River Glen and
Man-
Vermont,
manager-
all of Vermont State Housing had a manager in Montpelier.
The housing authority.
At the building, as you drive down Dog River Road, it's that complex on the right before you get to the driveway.
Yeah. But when I was a probation officer, I used to have to deal with, there was a lady who was like in charge of things at Dog River Glen, at Dog Food Glen.
A resident?
No, she was a person who was
There
like,
must be an office there, right?
yeah, there's somebody there who manages
Gonna
locally.
see somebody at the office if the
Uh-huh.
lights not working.
A
Yeah.
Or my mother-in-law.
A super.
There was somebody there that we talked to because the sink wasn't working.
Yeah, a super.
Yeah.
We need to involve that person.
I don't know what the chain of command is.
So I think that's something, Tom, that you could
Yeah, that's.
find out who what you call Caitlin, the next layer is down.
Mhm.
Or
That'd be
you can
helpful.
find out from Frida.
I think I had something to that effect on the Northfield Human Resource Directory.
Oh, okay.
Check
Oh,
it
yeah,
out.
I will.
Check it out.
I will do that. That's a great one.
At the Northfield.
Yeah. Human
Yeah.
Resource
Resource Directory,
I think I
yeah.
may have put something on it.
Well done. That's a great.
Okay, both top and bottom. Okay.
I wrote down Frida's concerns too, which I feel like might be
Let's hear it.
worth just,
Yep.
and I haven't read through these before. I'm reading them out loud, so bear with me. But parking lot that's there is for the senior center only. She said that even residents get flack from the senior center when they park in that parking lot. So one of her questions was, where are people going to park when they use this path? That's particularly a problem in the winter. If the path is open, so the backyard that they have is like open and it's great, but it's not open 24/7, and this path would be open 24/7. So that's a safety concern for nighttime visitors. She referenced have good lighting, high lights like the ones in the parking lot. She said that people feel comfortable with those. We talked a lot about a fence, a gate to let folks in. Folks who live there can use it, but people can't get into their area.
I just want to interject that
Please.
with our discussion of that seemed like it could be more of a problem than anything else.
Yeah.
Because you
It's not
can't
that
secure
long.
it so that,
Right.
Yeah.
no one can leave it unlocked. So,
And a solution that was talked about, because she mentioned that if residents walk around now, they have to walk around anyway.
right,
So the solution was have a full solid fence, no gate
Right.
whatsoever.
Right.
But just residents who live there will have to just walk outside and around to the entrance of the path,
Right.
which won't be any more
Which
walking
is
than
about
they're used to
20
now.
feet from the south
Right.
door of the
Right.
apartment building.
Right.
It's-
Obstructing
Right.
residents'
Yes.
view from the river and the road that's there. We know that that's most likely going to be a concern for people. Security cameras was a suggestion. And Frida commented that she the small crushed slate on the river path, Dog River Park path, similar. Those were her main comments outside from that meeting, but I figured I'd share.
It was an issue.
Yeah, I was town manager and there was vandalism,
So that
How
makes it
long
red.
ago was that?
20 years,
Right.
24 years.
Order of
Yeah,
magnitude.
it was a while.
And then we got a new chief and that all stopped.
Yeah.
We got a whole new police department, as a matter of fact, and that stopped.
Not a minute too
Makes you
soon.
wonder who was doing it.
So the individual we have been talking to so far is Susan Kugel, who is the site manager.
Okay.
So that
Doesn't ring a
informs
bell
you
to
that
me.
we're starting.
Mary, Natalie, let us know if you can hear us. Because if he attended with us and the
Yes.
residents, he could answer safety concern questions, and his presence hopefully might make people feel safer so that they know the police chief, whose office is right next to this proposed path, is aware of their concerns.
Okay,
I believe that was why we mentioned him.
so it's mainly gonna be a scheduling thing, because my impression of Chief Gomez is that he would come to just about anything we asked him to.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think so, as long as he doesn't see there's some sort of conflict. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, Mary has something. Go for it, Mary.
I'm texting with my mom right now. She's trying to join, but she texted me the name of the manager for Green Mountain Apartment.
Yeah.
And oh shoot, then I lost my text thread. Her name is, sorry, technical difficulties.
Gosh, that
Oh.
happens to you
Tom
too.
mentioned her name is Sue Kugel. Does that
Oh.
sound right?
No, mom says her name is Kitty Edmonds. Or at least that's who she thinks it is.
That one more time, Mary?
Oh,
Say
sorry.
again, Mary, please.
Yep,
Oh, she's frozen.
Katie Edmonds. Can you hear me? My audio keeps freezing also.
Yeah, you freeze too.
I'm not sure if it's the weather or my connection, but mom said that she thinks that the manager's name is Kitty Edmonds.
Okay.
Got it.
That's great.
Thank you.
Good.
That name
Good.
sounds more familiar.
Ma-
It
Good.
might
Mom is trying to join. She said her computer is doing one of those updates, so she apologizes and is on her way.
Tell her thank you. And our continued close relationship working with the Accessibility and Walkability Committee has helped us a lot. Yeah. And then finally, we need to have a PR plan. I think first we need to talk to people face to face. Then I think there needs to be a concerted effort to involve the community. But I would hesitate to involve the community before we get too far along. I'd rather get pretty far along, get the details that we're doing right now. That's my opinion. I don't know what to, I see some nodding.
Oh, yeah.
I'd
we
rather
have
be
to know
able
we
to
can
answer
do it.
questions,
Yeah, you have to be able
yeah.
to answer questions. You know you can do it.
Yeah.
And then it's more about maybe cosmetics, not other elements of it, right?
Yeah, and I certainly don't want to have the kind of experiences that you've mentioned confront you in your pickup and tell you,
You gotta come down to the farmer's market.
Yeah, they'll do
No,
that
thank you.
anyway, but at least if we wait to get it out, we have more information to.
yeah,
Yeah, but just like everything else, when you start talking about it, people are listening. They, you've got multiple Facebook, social media profiles. People are like, okay, let's see if they can do this. And that's
Mhm.
so, and of course, when it comes to me, I know we can do it, but I want to do it for a dime, not a dollar. You know?
We know.
well,
That's a
I think
thought.
we're all on the same sheet of music there. We all want to do it for a dime, not a dollar. So,
The Night on the Common event is it's for celebrating community organizations, and it's on September 17th.
maybe that's what we should,
Might that be like a deadline?
Why don't we
could
spend
work
some money then and get
towards?
the poster, turn what Timber and Stone made into posters. We'll leave the railroad thing out. And then you can put them up on whatever, and then have the posters there. We'll waterproof them and then just stick them. Sidewalk down by section D and get a sign, and so people can have a visual of what we're talking about.
there's no interaction stuff like dots that you like or don't
No,
like.
this is just matters. This is what we're thinking about.
Yeah.
And then the success of the dam removal project is good. Damn, if they can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd really like.
That's stuff that no one living has
It's
seen.
gonna blend right into, yes, and then it's gonna be a real headache for the select board because there's going to be a desire to have something underneath the railroad. It's not gonna be a bridge, it's gonna be a jack and bore, it's gonna be something that is, a tunnel. You gotta put lights on, you gotta put graffiti, but a jack and bore. Or being something you go underground and 2 bicycles.
That'd be amazing. I know. I mean, that was brought up with Timberstone
Yes.
and right. As opposed
it's
to
next to a river and the river floods. So I'm still dreaming on that.
Okay.
I haven't come up with
I like-
anything yet.
I like the dream.
I like the idea.
When
I-
Elevated walkway, instead of boring under the tracks, just come down and then you have like an elevated walkway under the bridge and then back with.
In a
With
flood
a
zone.
nice slat so that when it floods, the water.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that either because that challenges the bridge. But they're,
Oh, doesn't have to touch anything.
Well, I think a year from September 17th, 2025, we can have.
Also
Right,
good.
you know,
Yeah, that's
because
correct, yeah.
you can also do a jack and bore away from the waterfront. So you have a berm on either side. And the railroad probably would deny that also. And the drag about that is you've got AT&T and Sprint fiber optics going alongside the railroad track.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes.
dear.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, well, when the water main was being jacketed, so it wasn't just a water main under the railroad tracks, the one of those, I don't remember if it was AT&T or Sprint, was severed. And all of information technology, all the internet in Montreal went down. Air traffic control in New England went down.
Uh,
And they Learjetted a repair team from New Jersey, and they were here for supper time. And then the press, well,
That's why we need the heliport.
Hmm?
That's why we need a heliport.
yeah. So I think that's the big concern is that they've got
That's
that
new
was a big
information.
day in my job as town manager.
Yeah.
And when the press called, I told them I don't know what you're talking about, but I understand Randolph is doing some work next to the railroad. Mel Adams has never forgiven me.
Can you blame him?
Yeah, can you blame him? So if September 17th is Night on the Common, and if we have this idea that we could be publicly displaying the design plan and talking about it as a deadline, what needs to happen before that time?
Communication with the senior housing people
So soon,
in
quick after
various
Tom
ways.
has.
Right.
Okay.
So I have to do
That's
that
my first-
before
that's my
Labor
first
Day.
thought.
We have to have a meeting with the town, with the residents.
Yep.
Before Labor.
Okay.
As a reminder, you're working with us.
I know.
We'll do our best.
Yeah.
Of course.
And they're on vacay, and they got Bob.
Well, the other problem that we're running into, it doesn't matter what department, what area you're in, is everybody is a percentage of every single department has been deployed to flood.
That's true.
Oh
Yes.
gosh,
So
and then there's vacation.
all the projects that we either have
Mhm.
grants or application deadlines have all been extended. People from Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission, they have 2 or 3 people who've been deployed for flooding. So there's been a real mix up in the state for a while now.
That's
It's
a
been
good
going on
reminder.
since last year at this time.
Mhm.
So, right. For instance, our energy audits that we did here, the people who work on MERP have been working on floods for the last 7 months. So, which is why we haven't seen anything on that movement as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to. Again.
I think it's because some people are rejoining because they get disconnected. I think it's
Oh, okay.
continuing to record.
Okay.
I'm happy to talk to them about it. The stuff on the Facebook pages, and I always share to Steve for when I do the town ones. So it's no issue to do that. Yeah.
Can you do Channel 7 too?
Sure. I just
Free. Your
stream
George.
this video. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, George will be happy to do it.
So, yeah, get ahead of ourselves. Let's wait until closer to the Night on the Common to do that. discussion with Vermont State Housing rather than get every, like, I'd like to talk to Vermont State Housing before we go long range on this, but I still think it's a good idea to have the posters developed. And if you give them plenty of lead time, it's cheaper than if you ask them to do it day after tomorrow.
Parallel
When you
that
said
with the
spend
new-
the money.
The new Northfield news format too would be
Yeah.
a great
Yeah.
place to time it
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
to be there.
Mayor?
Conversation with the housing authority, that it all goes smoothly and that there's not more work or more ripples to hit.
I think the language, I think the language should be developed, and I don't know if
I
Cassie's
totally
gonna
would be
take
fine,
that, but
is what I'm saying.
we know we're gonna go one project. We know item D. So if we start spinning that up positively, because it's going to happen, watch what Northfield can do. There's a bunch of volunteers that pooled their resources together and created a plan, and now you have a park. As much as it is, but you get where I'm going with that. Because we partnered with the highway department to put the stone in the school pit. We took the Vermont State Housing, and we're working with them, and we're hoping that they can see the advantage. And now that we've got this new riverbed, we'd like to go further.
Yep.
It is, but you'll grow it. I hope I'm not exposing too much of myself in the way I think on these things, but
Well, the other thing I was Swartz, who writes about
This is a good idea. First one is always going to be. And then your benches and all the other, it just, that's.
Aren't there memorial funding, but are there opportunities there and a table of memory of somebody?
Right. They will build it for you
Mhm.
because they'll get jazzed.
And then reaching out to abutting landowners and wonders. I don't know what that means. I don't
Reaching
know
out
what
to
that.
budding landowners and wonders.
Maybe one
Neighbors.
came from.
Funders,
I don't know. Any rights away.
yeah.
Maybe, but
Neighbors.
I have no idea what that was. It's bizarre. I didn't. It's very strange. But our main problem appears to be, in anticipation, is going to be the railroad
Well, for that one section.
for that one section.
We've known.
Other there landowners. Oh, what about we have to reach out to?
Their neighbors.
Yeah. Is that something we do in anticipation around Labor Day?
Yeah, we,
Sorry for folks at home, but I didn't realize.
Doesn't.
I don't know. It's the element from Patty Greenswift, which I had talked about in prior select board meetings, but it also, I think, yeah, in the back is that project review sheet for Act 250.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You need, because you also need permission from Fernandez.
Hold on.
That's
for
B.
B and
Okay, you're just
C.
thinking of the C.
Yeah. I swear. Where did my other dozen copies go? Here they are.
Oh, I remember you reporting on this to us at the select board. The one small section that did not have any significant wetland function. I remember that.
Yeah.
And this lady, I talked to her about her payment.
Oh, good.
And I talked to Jeff, and the difficulty is there was something weird about the way that she wrote the invoice, and Lori Barofio had
Which you have a copy of also.
asked questions about it.
Okay.
And so this is a conversation I had with her.
Yeah.
And then, and she said, should I reach out to Lori? And I said, yeah, I move things along, so I told her Lori's name, and I don't have a number for Lori Barofio. Yeah, but I think Pat about it, it can just talk directly to this lady.
Sure.
So just so you know, that's happening.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. This is very nice. What do you want us to do? Anything
Oh,
about
no, just
for your records and so that I have less paper in here. I
You're
found
kidding.
it while I was looking for
Your
something
solid
else.
waste problem is now my solid waste problem. Is that how that goes?
No, blank on the memory.
Oh, I can
it's-
reuse it.
Right, it's
Yeah.
it's not
Ah.
a problem, it's an opportunity.
Yes, there you go.
I believe the concern on this invoice was on the dating as to whether or not she's looking so a proper behind freight yards.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's what that confused.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought Lori clear that up. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
Patty can clear that up with Lori faster than
Yeah.
she can clear it up with Jeff, and then Jeff tells Lori, and then like that. No.
Yeah.
So that's all I have on tonight's meeting, except for what is the next meeting we are having? Oh, wait, we have to have public participation unscheduled. Are you unscheduled?
We've kind of been doing it all.
Yeah, I
along.
know.
You have to ask the people on the.
Is
Zoom
there
also.
anyone here on the electronically, Natalie or
That's
Mary? Mary's already.
Is that free?
Hi, I can hear you again.
Rita.
Free.
They cannot see us anymore, FYI. So. Okay.
Good.
Okay, did you have something you wanted to add in public participation? I see nothing, so I guess we'll let that go. Yeah, the date of the next, meeting. When should we meet? I feel like witches. When shall we three meet again? When shall we meet again?
After we get Vermont State Housing. After we have that discussion, there'll be some things work for that.
Could we shoot for a of about 2 weeks, maybe?
We'll make that the target.
Shoot for that and get much done as we can. Rising, we have holidays and Monday, and we have all kinds of crap.
And if anybody happens to personally know the local man, it would be great to have a conversation there to see if the sentiment is what we're hearing from the contact we have, because oftentimes it's a lot of folks who can't say yes that like to say no.
Yeah.
And we always want to move them out of the way.
That's one of the things that Rita.
Mary, can I say
That
something?
was it. There.
Go ahead, Mary.
A lot of people.
Sorry. I don't, Mom is on right now. I didn't know if you guys had any questions for her.
Mary, I see. Go ahead. Your hand up.
Hold on. Can you hear me, Mary?
Mary.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Did,
Okay.
Please, Mary.
I did relay the comments that your mom. Hi, Frida.
No.
I relayed the comments.
Go ahead, Mary.
The Accessibility group.
Can you hear us at all, Mary?
I can.
Can you see us?
Did you hear her, Mary?
I did. Did you guys hear me earlier?
We were switching up the audio, so we may not have. My apologies.
Oh, okay.
We're having storm
Yes,
issues.
please.
here.
Oh, she.
I didn't know if I know that all
Yes.
can't see you, but I didn't know if you could see.
Tell her, go ahead and talk, Tom. If you
Now
can
we've got-
chat with her.
Now we got a tape delay.
It just gets funnier.
Yeah. There's a.
Did you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know if you guys.
Go ahead, Mary.
Wow, this is bad.
There's a delay on the tape, Mary. So it's now not only playing live, but it's also playing back what we were saying 10 minutes ago, which included, go ahead, Mary.
Yeah.
So I'm really sorry.
Good.
This is
All right,
Frida. Can you hear me?
yes, yes.
You're breaking up so much that I can't hear what you say
Mary?
half the time.
Okay, well, essentially, the meeting has come to an end. And we're
Okay.
reaching out for public participation. And if you've got something to add, let us know.
Hold
If
on.
not,
Can you hear me, Mary? Okay.
we will
I
try and do it
relay
at our next one.
your mom. Hi, Frida. I relayed the comments. They're in this meeting. Just FYI. Yeah. There's a hear me. It's now not only live, but included. Go ahead, Mary. What did I call her?
Participation. And if you've
Yeah, 7:17.
not,
No, it's not 8:17.
Oh, I'm sorry.
we
I thought that was the next one you were talking. But I'm on.
try and do it better next time.
Okay.
Well, I've got two board members in the room.
Yes.
I want to talk to Jeff. One of the reasons issues that we're having down here where we have meetings is that we don't have a Wi-Fi booster. So we only have one bar of Wi-Fi. So it cuts out, and then what you're seeing is my tethered phone pops on to take over, and then it switches back to the other. I go through this all the time with meetings in here, and so when I go into Jeff and say, I really need to get a booster, that's what I'll get then.
Yeah.
Just saying, I have two board members demanding it.
Well, I think this is reprehensible.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We can get the folks at home.
I just did a chat. Thank you. Thank you for doing it right.